Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price. This is the sound of Billy Dorsey, our guest here on this segment. And you can learn more about Billy at BillyDorsey.com. And I interviewed Billy back in February or March and enjoyed it. And it's always interesting having people of his pedigree and his influence out there on our program, the Emmy Award-winning artist and Grammy Award-winning, sorry about that. I get all those, what is it, the ego, Emmy, Grammy, and Oscar. I get that all messed up. But you're a Grammy-winning artist. Delighted to have you on the program.
Always a pleasure, Kevin. How have you been, sir?
Doing great. You do a lot of stuff thanks to the fine folks over at Lakewood Church, is my understanding.
That is correct. Lakewood has given me a position of honor and played a big role in helping me to expand my ministry. I'm grateful for them.
Yeah, that's awesome. So kind of give us, if you will, kind of a panoramic overview of what your work's all about.
I am a Grammy, Dove, and Stellar Award-winning singer, songwriter, and producer. Won our first Grammy this year working with an artist named McCrae, a Christian hip-hop artist, for Best Gospel Album. Since then, I've been blessed to have the opportunity to have my own debut album, Marathon. Came out April 16th this year and hit the top 40 within 3 hours. So from there, I'm also serving at Lakewood in the outreach, the men's ministry, and the singles ministries. And that's pretty much a synopsis of what I do.
So pretty much bored, sitting around at home and watching TV. Yeah, sounds like you're busy. That's awesome. So you got a lot coming down the pike right now. Tell us a little bit about that.
I am actually on the domestic leg of a world tour. So this Friday I'll be in Shreveport. Sunday I'll be in Round Rock, Texas, right outside of Austin. And then in August I'll actually be heading out to Africa and going to Italy and a couple other countries. We'll be in Israel, a few other places. So on tour, and this is my first tour where I'm actually the artist rather than behind the scenes. So it's a blessing. Yeah.
Is that stressful?
You know what? It really is. But it's not so much the touring that's stressful. It's the fact that I also have a family. I have a wife and 3 daughters and they can't go with me. So it's trying to juggle being a successful songwriter and producer and now an artist who's achieving a level of acclaim and having a family and maintaining relationships and being active in my kids' lives. That's the part that is stressful.
Okay. And the tour begins immediately and it lasts until when?
It actually began a month and a half ago. I'm home in Houston for just this week, and it will go until November.
And what would you say are you touring with anyone else, or is it your solo gig, or how's it working?
It is my solo tour. The Houston Chronicle featured me on the front page of the entertainment section, and Shreveport and Houston both featured me on Isaiah Carey and the Rick Rose Show on ABC and Fox News. And because of the visibility of those things, it allowed me to have the presence to step out and do my own tour. Wow,
that's cool. And so no opening act or anything like that?
No opening acts. We come straight in. I share my testimony of coming from homelessness to being a Grammy Award winner by God's grace, and we get started with the music.
So tell us a little bit about that story. That is a fascinating story.
Well, about 11 years ago, I moved to Houston. I signed a recording contract to sing gospel music. Long story short, the record label tried to replace one of the members of our group. I fought against it, and they froze my contract out. So I ended up, long story short, homeless there, living in the studio in the Fifth Ward that was owned by a drug dealer. And as he became more and more addicted to the drugs that he was selling, he would lock the burglar bars. I think he was paranoid, and he would lock the burglar bars to that studio and be gone for days and a couple times weeks at a time. I would be trapped inside because it was safer to be inside an enclosed space rather than to be literally sleeping out on the street. And it got to a point where after an extended period without eating, I asked God, why am I going through this? I can't take this anymore. And as clearly as you hear my voice, God spoke to me and said, you pay attention to everything that you're dealing with. Remember every detail, because one day I'm going to bless you to win Grammys, Doves, and Stellar Awards. You're going to have #1 albums. The world will know your name for my glory. And everything that God has promised has come to pass. And here we are.
Wow, that's a pretty cool story. And it I guess that certainly gives you a certain degree of confidence going forward, right?
It definitely does. And it makes it easier because I understand that if someone as powerful as a God would say, you are going to be successful and I'm going to get the glory out of it, it takes all the stress, it takes all the confusion, it takes all the self-doubt away because I know it's not about me.
Right, right. God is large and in charge, so that's awesome. So very cool. I like that. And what kind of venues are you going to be doing your tour at?
All kinds. We've been doing everything from tent revivals in Louisiana to playing some major churches. I know when we go to Italy, we're going to be playing a cathedral, which is crazy because they generally are not it's a Catholic nation, so they don't generally open up to gospel or the urban type of contemporary Christian that we do. But we'll be playing a cathedral there. So, I mean, any venue that will have us that has people that are willing to hear God's word, that's where we'll be.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. And we'll continue through November. And you said that the album already hit the charts. What chart was that? Was that the Christian Contemporary?
The Christian and Gospel chart. That's
Christian
right.
Gospel chart. Phenomenal. That is awesome. And with your outreach work at the Lakewood Church here in Houston, which I guess is probably the largest church in the United States and one of the largest churches in the world, what exactly does that entail?
Certainly, music ministry, leading worship. Also, like right now, Pastor Joel Osteen has a strong focus on Fifth Ward, which is where I lived when I was homeless. So in addition to singing, I'm also sharing my testimony and just kind of encouraging the people in whatever area we go into that you can overcome no matter what your circumstances may be. So a little bit of preaching, a little bit of ministering, but definitely singing and worshiping.
All right. Do you want to encourage you to learn more about our guests? Go to BillyDorsey.com. That's BillyDorsey.com. And you can check out his new album, Marathon, while there. And thanks so much for spending time with us.
Always a pleasure, Kevin.
All right. Have a great tour. And when we come back, we're going to have much more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here, it shows up over there at USDailyReview.com. You're listening to Billy Dorsey on The Price of Business.